halfway through Season 2 of the Core League brings us to one of the most anticipated races of the campaign, as we have a special Friday Night Lights edition of On MDK's coverage of the night race at Bristol, live from the Bristol Motor Speedway in Bristol, Tennessee. And welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the On MDK Crew Show. I'm your host, Carlos, and alongside with me, as always, is 2019 Summer Showdown champion. It is Cody Workman. How are you doing today, Cody?
A lot better than a few days ago at Michigan. I feel a lot more better, less congested, but still a little bit more hype. Dude, it's the Lat Grace Coliseum on Friday night. Friday Night Lights at the Coliseum. Nothing better than that.
Absolutely. Now, we have a very action-packed show for you guys tonight, and it included a huge announcement that regarding the Core League. Now, yesterday, I should say, four of the admins came together to come up with an announcement regarding the future of the Core League, and this is what was said from that announcement. All right, stage racing, that's number one. After some complaints from drivers that have wanted stage racing ever since Season 2 started, they have now implemented that from Bristol onwards. However, there'll be no stage points, unlike what you see in NASCAR in their top three divisions. Another change. With the admin, Jared Lundberg, the Iceberg, who I believe was 5th or 6th in the point standings at the time, he has quit the core entirely. He has stepped down as an admin and will no longer race, and he has got rid of everything regarding the core. Darren Gilliam, Black Flags Matter, he's another admin. He also steps down as the admin. However, he will continue to race, I believe, under a part-time schedule, if I'm not mistaken. Another driver that's stepping away is Dale Reynolds, the Season 1 champion. He'll not be able to defend his title for Season 2, taking an infinite break from not only the core but from YouTube, but he still wants to race in the season and maybe for future seasons. And finally, Raw Gator Trey Normal, who I think was 4th or 5th in standings after Michigan, he also steps down as a driver of the core, although I was not entirely sure if he's quit entirely like Jared Lundberg did, excuse me. All right, so Cody, with all that just thrown at you, what is your initial thoughts on this announcement?
Well, just going down the list, first thing you mentioned was stage racing. I am a huge supporter of it. And the main reason is because of, with these 704 physics, sometimes with either wall glitches or pit road glitches, or even if there is, in some people's eyes, a legitimate wreck and no caution is thrown, that gives those guys the opportunity to catch up to try to make something happen in the second part of a race. And then even for the stage break between stage 1 and stage 2, that allows them to try to rebound if something happens really early on in the race. I messaged Rusty Waters a little bit last night, and I just asked him how he thought about the races, and he was like, love, 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 love. So there's a lot of guys that are really happy about this change. The next thing you talked about, Jarrett Lundberg, really unfortunate to see him go. He was, in my opinion, the driver that had the biggest improvement from last season. You look at from last season, he was always in the back half of the field for the majority of the races, and now this year he's up there towards the front, not really having any race-winning contention yet, but just was solidly knocking out top 5s and top 6s, and he had a decent point spot where he was right there, about 6th place in points. And then Dale Reynolds, obviously he has some personal stuff going on, and hey, we get it. I mean, all the fans watching at home, these guys, we aren't really doing it for paid money at all. We're not commentating for paid money. We're just doing this because, we enjoy entertaining you guys. And, we hope that all of you at home understand that, we have lives outside of this league, outside of YouTube, and that those always come there, but we try to do the best we can to try to entertain you guys. Hate to see Darian step down from an admin position, but I totally get it. With all of years I've spent in league racing, I've had some admin opportunities in those, and sometimes it can be a bit overwhelming to try to run a league and run in it. So I think I totally understand and agree with what Darian has to do, step down and just enjoy racing. And I can understand where he's coming from in that aspect. And then finally, Raw Gator. I hate to see Gator leave because he was one of the 2 drivers, aside from Sloppy Joe, that was making a charge at that points lead. And it was after him having a terrible start to the season. He was knocking out top 5s on a weekly basis, and he even had race winning speed too, in my opinion. So I had to see him leave, but I was talking to him a little bit too, and he said, it was just kind of disappointing on his end. They'll be working on something for hours and then, not getting the result you wanted when, there's just some free time that he wanted back as well. So, and with that being said, we kind of understand and respect that as well. So, hate to see some of these guys leave, but we hope to see some of them back soon.
Yeah, it's tough to see. I mean, 2 admins stepped down, 1 quits entirely, and then another 2 drivers have to leave the core. Well, 1 taking a break for personal reasons, 1 is just leaving because he's not having fun. But even with all the bad, there are some good that came out of this. One of these things was as a result of an admin stepping down, or 2 admins stepping down. 1 has to replace them. So currently, the original 3 are WhatiFRacing, Brian Pasternak, Caleb Hoffman, and Ed Soundhead from Soundhead Entertainment. Well, a 4th admin has been added, and he is the points leader, rookie of the core league. It is DriveThrough. He will replace, or at least take over as the new admin, and is already making strides to try and improve the racing, improve the league as a whole. One of the first things that he said, we talked to him in a little DM conversation. One of the first things he said was to have clear communication between the drivers, broadcasters like us two, fans, and the league itself with the admins. Cody, as a broadcaster being involved with the Core League, what are your thoughts on DriveThrough being an admin, and what do you think the future of Core will look like now under his watch?
Well, I think just since his time since coming in here, he's been really vocal and communicative with us as far as trying to understand what's going on with the league going forward. And I think that this is a really good person who's put in position of admin, regardless of if he was a rookie or not. Driver, he has a tremendous amount of credibility. He's very engaged with the NASCAR Heat community and the NASCAR YouTube community. I think, a lot of the things that people look forward to every week is his clown reels is immediately after the race, and you'll see all types of people hanging out there after. So some may call it somewhat controversial on some of the things he has to say, but it is all entertainment and it is all engaging with the community. So I'm happy to see DriveThrough as an admiral.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see what he can do now. He's going to be tackling on a driver as an admin starting tonight here at Bristol. Well, last weekend at Michigan, Sloppy Joe, or Joey Stone, his streak continues, his 2nd straight win of the season. Technically 3rd if you want to throw in the All-Star race. He has been on a roll now. Let's take a look now at the point standings following Michigan. Davin Cornelius DriveThrough 103 points on the board. However, Brian Pasternak is tied with them. 2nd place. 3rd is Michael Cosi Jr., 14 points behind. 4th is Joey Stone, who gains 3 spots from that win. Trey Normal, his name will now be in gray following Bristol, as he will no longer be participating this season. 6th place is Brendan Littell. 7th is Darren Gilliam. Jarrett Lundberg in 8th place, just like Trey. And Jonathan Ramos, his name will be highlighted in a gray overlay. 9th is Cody Hagan. 10th is Joseph Lombard. 11th is Rusty Walrus. 12th is Dale Reynolds. 13th is Ed Soundhead. 14th is Jake Baskinger. 15th is Michael Marute. 16th is Ray Jacobs. 17th is Jonathan Ramos. And 18th is Ryan Labonte. He is 91 points behind the race, or the points lead, I should say. So, I'm going to ask you first, I will say this. Let's focus now on the top 2 first. DriveThrough and Brian Pasternak, WhatiFRacing, they are tied in the points entering the second half of the season. Now, DriveThrough, he has the most wins with 2 this season. However, Pasternak leads the way in terms of the entirety of the core league. Pasternak has 3, DriveThrough has 2. However, this season he has 0. So who do you think has the edge right now between the top 2, Pasternak or DriveThrough?
Well, I think the key phrase there is who's the best right now. Obviously, overall this season, I would still say, if we were to say overall who's been better between these 2, I would say DriveThrough, just because he has those 2 wins. But what if he has amazing consistency right now as well? I mean, if you look at before DriveThrough, he had a 13-point lead after his 2nd win of the season at Canadian Tire. And since that point, What If has been really consistent, literally finishing 3rd in practically almost every single race that we've had. So because of that consistency, I still think that Brian is slightly better, and now that he has tied with the points lead, it's going to be interesting to see if he can manage to pull away from DriveThrough at all. However, you got that guy sitting in 4th right now, Sloppy Joe, who was on a charge. And he's come all the way back from 45 points down at the beginning of the season to now 2025. But I mean, still, it's kind of interesting to say, though, how amazing he's done the past 2 weeks, getting max points days, and he's only knocked out 20 points of his 45-point deficit. So that kind of tells you, even though he has his success right now, that those top two are going to have to find struggles as well for him to make up that points gap quicker. We saw it with Winval, but he had quite a bit of struggles last week, and he fell from 9 back to 14 back. But still, Joey's going to need a little bit of help from that top three in points right now if he wants a shot at his points lead.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see what happens tonight here at Bristol. Talk about terms of short tracks. You should expect Michael Cosi Jr. to have a role. Now, he's sitting there in third place right now in the point standings, only I think 15 points behind. And how good he ran in the other two short tracks, who knows? We might even have a four-way battle for the lead at the end of tonight's event. Well, last weekend at Michigan, we saw a lot of good racing on the track, but we saw a lot of things took place off the track. And Cody, I think you've got something to say about that.
Oh, I got something to say. First off, though, we got to back up a little bit. Now, before I go in this rant, I am not bashing 704. I am not saying 704 is a terrible game maker. I am saying, as a fan of NASCAR Heat, and as someone who is deeply involved with this game and the community, that I think it would not be fair if we did not address some of the problems as a hardcore fan should. So, let's go back a little bit. We are all evident of the little glitches and things that we've seen so far in this season. Let's go back to Homestead. Here we go, one of the final restarts right here. Pause it right there. See how there's no car right there? That car is raw Gator. And just to make sure that we aren't hallucinating, let's look at Rusty Walrus's stream. See how there's that blue car racing in front of him right there? That is raw Gator. At this point of the race, we saw Gator's car just sitting on pit road thinking that he was lagged out. But nope, he's still racing around the track. So here, me and Jet, we got to call a race, half the race, with an invisible car on the track. Yeah. We can't have those things, Jet. No. We need to see every car.
Yeah.
Now, let's forward to next race, though. See how we have Cody Hickens coming up on IDK player at Canadian Tire. IDK in reality is on the right side of the track. However, as Cody comes up on IDK, zoop, bam, into the side of IDK. Now, I won't totally fault 704 for this part because we've already determined that this has been a product of IDKism, which, by the way, I hope you all got your vaccinations from that. So, as we move on now, let's go to Eldora. In the open, Rusty Walrus is trying to track down Raw Gator in the final stage to make it to the All-Star race. Gator's starting to slowly pull away, but Gator's starting to slowly come, but Rusty Walrus is starting to come back a little bit again. Here we go, coming off turn 4. What happens? Looks like Rusty's kind of up against the wall. Well, bam! And towards the inside he goes, but he saves it. But a couple laps later, he finds the same glitch again. Well, bam! Zoop! Spinning around. There goes Rusty Walrus. Gets hit by other guys. Brings out a caution. So we move from that part, and I think the most obvious thing that we've seen so far, especially from last week, is the pit road glitches. So the first time we saw this was at Canadian Tire. Here we see What If coming down pit road, already in a tight battle for the lead with DriveThrough. Here he is making his pit stop. He comes out, bam! There goes Michael Roots coming in for his pit stop. He sideswipes the one car at What If and holds him back. Up, and there goes DriveThrough. Bye-bye. Sorry, no race lead for you today. We had to have the pit road bugs. And then let's fast forward to last race at Michigan. Same thing. Look at, this is amazing stuff right here. What If and Sloppy Joe are side by side practically coming down the pit lane. They come to make their pit stops. And, oh, there goes What If. He runs to the back of the 38 car who is stopped in his pit box. He loses about 1 or 2 seconds right there. But then here we go. He's going to come out and make his stop. And, oh, there goes Winval. He makes sides contact with Winval, 00. And look at the front windshield of What If and see how far away Sloppy Joe has got. Well, bye-bye. Once again, there goes What If. A chance of battling for the win. I'm telling you, Jet. The poor guy just keeps getting screwed over. And then to make matters worse, it was in full force on the last pit stop. At that point, What If's car was just driving through people that were stuck on the pit road, and then poor wind valve, Jack. When the guy already got a pit road speeding penalty, he gets turned around by Sloppy doing the last pit stop. Yeah, it's terrible, Jack. It's terrible. The poor guy got screwed over on pit road, and then he gets turned over when the man's already down, running towards the back of the pack. So with all that being said, this cry towel this week goes to 704. 704. We love you. We love all the games that you made in this game period since Heat Evolution and with the addition of the Pro League. But please, we need to fix these issues, man. We need to fix these issues.
Yeah, you have the feel for What If. I mean, what, 2-3 times he's been screwed out of a win? Oh, man. Well, see, now with the crying towel, since you brought that out, now I have a tear rolling down my eye.
I would give you this, but I got some.
There, I have I'll use a napkin. There we go.
There you go.
There you go. And we made it. All right, let's take a look now. Let's get by what happened last weekend at Michigan and from previous races. Focusing now tonight at Bristol. Workman, who you got in your top 5?
Yeah, well, I think no question that we know who number 1 is, and that's Sloppy Joe. The guy is on an absolute tear right now. He's won the last 2 points-paying races that we've had, and then if you want to include the All-Star race there, even though we'll never see trucks or dirt again this season, you can consider that as 3 in a row. So anytime you win something, especially with $100 involved, that's going to improve the momentum. We saw that last week with Michigan. I will say he had a little bit of the help from the game, as we already mentioned, with getting that win. But still, he ended up winning the race and still had a fast car. Number 2, I am moving What If up to number 2. And here's why. He has been the most consistent guy, more consistent than DriveThrough. DriveThrough, even though he has those 2 wins, he has a lot more 4th and 5th place area finishes than What If. What If has been consistently in the top 3 almost every single race. It's mostly 3rd place finishes, but he has that consistency going for him, and it's only a matter of time before he gets to win. 3rd, I have DriveThrough. It's kind of weird to say that, if we were to say he's in a slump per se, but he had those 2 wins back to back, and he hasn't necessarily been in contention for a win late in the race, past couple races, but he's consistently been running in the top 5. So still have him at number 3. Number 4, I have Winvow. I know he has those 2 wins also, but just because of his terrible luck that he had last week at Michigan, he made that pit road speeding penalty, which we don't really see from him all that often. And then once he got that penalty, he was just stuck back in 9th the rest of the race, and he couldn't recover and rebound from that. So I have him back to number 4. And then number 5, I would have Raw Gator here if he had not quit the league. But in number 5, because of his strong run last week at Michigan with its 3rd place finish, I have Brendan Littell. He's looking at turning things around a little bit, and he's sitting right up there, 6th place in points. Don't know if he can make a championship run at this point, but he's definitely knocking out some strong runs at the right time in the season.
All right, so now let's move on to our next segment. It's been off for a while, but finally, for the first time, I think, since Martinsville, Cody, you got a chance to go out in the Core League car on the racetrack at Bristol. And for the first time since Martinsville, we return back with another episode of Workman's World from the last great Coliseum.
Welcome back, everybody, to Workman's World. Now, you're probably wondering, Workman, what's up with the new helmet? Well, I figured. This place is called the Last Great Coliseum, right? These gladiators, they have these fancy helmets and stuff. Well, I know when I like to go a little crazy and chaotic on the snowmobile, this is usually the helmet that I wear. So, since these guys are going all crazy and whatnot tonight, I figured I'd get in the spirit. The little fun fact about Bristol, In this game, Bristol is quite the multi-groove racetrack. You get guys that go outside, inside. Oh, there goes Mr. Kyle around. No, you didn't see that. We're just going to keep going here. Anyway, the thing I was talking about Bristol before, you got multi-groove racing. You got guys going on the bottom, you guys go on the top. However, as the run goes on, guys will want to migrate to this top lane a bit. And then when they go down there, you want to try to diamond these corners a bit. So, I'm going to get around Mr. Logano here. Well, I'll try to demonstrate it here in this next corner. I'm going to go up here a little bit, let the car drift up, and I'm going to come down and try to get a better shot off exit here. And you see right in front of me too, I know these are two AI cars right here that are in front of me, but traffic is going to be a key all night long regarding if it's lead lap traffic or lap traffic. Those leaders, when they get caught up in lap traffic, it is very hard to... Ooh. And it gets loose right there too. Anyway, where were we? Okay, we're going again. 24. Beautiful. So yeah, traffic's gonna be key all night long, but also what I just kind of did right there, these cars, they like to get a little bit loose off exit here after a decent point of the run. Also, we got this seam here that runs off of exit of turns 2 and turns 4. That's what I spun on last time. So if I had to ask what the key to tonight's race is going to be, it's going to be 1, patience. So you don't lose your cool behind any lap traffic or leave lap traffic, whatever. And also, don't be out there to make enemies. We've seen guys lose their cool before, and they don't end pretty. So it's going to be interesting too with these stages. Now with these stages on, we are guaranteed to have a caution in the second half of the race. How aggressive are these guys going to be once it gets down to that second half of the race? If it's going to be cautions, green cautions, going to be a lot to find out here. Now we're kind of by ourselves again. I'll kind of show you this line a little bit here, this diamond line. This traction compound is pretty useful, so you'll see guys entering high up here. They'll cut down low to this traction compound, get a good run off. Enter high again, bring it down low, get a good run off the corner. And you may see some guys here just want to choose to stay up here on the outside. And it's just when they do this, it gets that back end wants to swing around just a teeny bit. Here's the thing though, with it being Bristol, we've seen it before, we've seen it again. Don't know, we'll see a bump and run, but if you're going to do a bump and run, this is probably the way to do it. Little tap up the track, and there you go. That is how the Bristol bump and run works right there. Gonna be tight, fast, action-packed racing Friday night under the lights. Gonna be fun, y'all.
Alright, let's take now a look at the race announcements for tonight's Jones BBQ Foot Massage Night Race at Bristol.
You look so happy having to say that.
I'm thrilled. The highlight of my broadcasting career. Yeah. 250 laps around this 0.5-mile track. What do you expect to happen in tonight's race?
Things are going to be crazy, especially with the addition of stages. However, these guys are turning 15, 16-second laps around this place, which means that even though, like, it doesn't really matter how many cars we see, lap cars will be a factor here. A lot of people say even though that this racetrack will have multi-groove racing, still the dominant line is going to be that top line with, as we see going later in the run, you'll see guys diamonding it off these corners, getting off turns 2 and 4 off the bottom of the racetrack in that traction compound. That traction compound, it is present here in this game, and you can feel it. You can feel the tires grip into it whenever you're going over that in this game. So I'm glad to see and happy to see one of those things that 704 is added in here to make the racing a little bit better. But still, lap traffic is going to be quite the key tonight, and just keeping your nose clean and keeping your tempers cool. You know, maybe like late in the race, we may see some guys bouncing off each other, but we saw instances of Martinsville where guys were really pushing the issue early in the race. So I think patience and virtue is going to be a strong keys for the night.
All right, so now let's move on to our last segment of this pre-race show, the picks to win. So with that in mind, take now into consideration who you got winning tonight's race.
Well, I picked him once or twice already this season so far, but this guy, he is due for a win. And I believe that he has a fire underneath him after what's happened for 2 races now with pit road glitches when he's had fast cars. He won Bristol last year, and even though that we'll say that this Bristol is nothing like the Bristol in the last game, I still think that he gets it done. WhatiFRacing Brian Pasternak will get his first win of the season finally tonight.
All right. Well, I had WhatiFRacing Brian Pasternak as my pick to win, but since you picked him, I want to look like a copycat, so I'll pick someone else. I was thinking of maybe going with Joey Stone. He riding up that momentum 2 weeks in a row, Kansas and last weekend at Michigan. However, this driver, if you look at his history this season on short tracks, he has been flat out dominant. And I feel like he's going to go 3 in a row on the short tracks. He won at Richmond, won at Martinsville, and Michael Kosey Jr., the double zero car, will win at Bristol tonight. 14 points behind the race leader, and I think he's going to gain a ton of ground on his way for a championship. Alright, well, that concludes this episode of the On MDK Crew Show. Thank you guys so much for watching. Thank you to Cody for joining us. We're going to get set and ready for tonight's Jones BBQ Foot Massage Night Race from the Bristol Motor Speedway. Should be a fun race. It's Friday Night Lights, baby, at the last great Coliseum. Thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you guys later for the running of the Jones BBQ Foot Massage Night Race from Bristol Motor Speedway. Alright, welcome ladies and gentlemen. We're on the last great Coliseum, so these gladiators will do battle for the Jones BBQ Foot Massage Night Race at Bristol. Yes, that's the real title. Now, yes, we have Workman on here, of course, but we also have a very, very, very special guest with us. He's one of the rising stars in NASCAR, ran part-time last year with JD Motorsports and put up in a very impressive effort. I believe it was a 15th place finish at Iowa. You can correct me.
Almost. We're almost there. We ran it. Dude.
Dang it. Okay, whatever. We got the one, the only Ryan Vargas here on the show with us. Why isn't it not showing up? It boggles my mind. It's not. Why is it not showing up? God dang it! It was working. Here, you can just speak. Just say hi, Ryan.
All right. Well, what is up, everybody? Really happy to be doing this. Really happy to broadcast this race. Always wanted to do some stuff like this. So it's going to be a blast watching some NASCAR Heat 4 action at the last great Coliseum. So going to be a blast.
Yeah. And, God, I wish we could put the, let's see if it works now. No, it's still white screen. Man, I wish we could show what Cody's wearing right now.
Oh, no. Oh, for those who don't know, I am staying in the Workman's World theme here, the Bristol theme. I got the helmet on with the glass and everything, which I call my AKA Gladiator helmet. But yeah, this is going to be an awesome race. Like, I like this theme. Friday Night Lights at Bristol. It's almost got like this little football feel almost. And right, I have to be honest, I'm kind of glad that we got someone with more credibility than me here, like as someone who's an actual racer in NASCAR. I mean, just to brag a little bit, I mean, I'd say I'm pretty decent on the e-NASCAR side, but I mean, you're totally rocking it in the real NASCAR world, and I believe you actually got to run here at Bristol, correct?
Yeah, I ran in Bristol back in 2018, running the K&N E-Series, now the ARCA Series. Had a pretty decent run going. Got caught up in someone else's mess, though, which ended up taking us out of our day. But the K&N cars were a blast around Bristol. Bristol is a very tough racetrack. You know, going through the corners, you're carrying so much speed. I'm watching qualifying to my right now. And these guys are racing hard. And this is just a qualifying race. They're door banging, slamming into each other. You see some of the top guys like Sloppy Joe, who's fallen actually, not even at the front right now. So it's actually going to be a little bit of a challenge for some of the guys who may be dominating throughout the year.
Yeah, and again, I know people want to see Ryan and these guys again. I do apologize for it for some reason. It was literally working 2 minutes before we came on. Everything was fine. Now everything's not, but it's all right, I think.
You know, you get that sometimes in big-time auto racing, and that's okay.
Yeah, hey, cut me some slack here. I'm the only one behind the scenes doing all this stuff.
No, everyone give Jet a lot of thanks for putting all this on. He's been doing a good job, and he's helped me out a lot trying to get this figured out. because I have no idea what I'm doing.
Yeah,
I don't either.
I saw a bunch of people in the pre-race show. They were like talking about the scrolling ticker on the bottom of the screen. Hopefully, maybe in future races we can get that live. But it was just a little test that I was trying to do. Shout out to Joey Stone and DriveThrough. They actually were able to what do you call it? They were able to get me the stats for for the league. So
Oh yes.
yeah, a certain someone decided to get rid of him. I'm not gonna say his name, but you know who you are. You know who you are.
Sorry, I had to take the helmet off just where you don't have any cameras because that was starting to get a little hot.
Yeah.
So.
I can only imagine how warm it got in there.
Oh yeah, there's no air movement at all. But Ryan, so yeah, you said that you raced at Bristol. So just with the experience of racing at that racetrack, I know obviously, it's probably different racing there in real life than online, but just your experience there, like between short run speed, like how you had to change and run the car on the long run. How did you have to adjust your racing style based off of the runs and also who the people you were around?
Yeah, in real life, when you're running the K10 car there, you start off the run really loose. You're getting sideways through the corners. And back in 2018, they actually had a little bit too much PJ1 down on the bottom, which made the race a little bit of a bottom feeder racetrack. And so we were all fighting to get to the bottom. And if you restart on the outside, which unfortunately, I think about 7 out of the 8 restarts, I was on the outside. So there was not much room for me to figure out how to get to the bottom. But once you get single filed up, getting in line, it's all about just kind of getting in that rhythm and figuring out where your throttle points are, how hard you need to be on the throttle. And when you're in those K&N cars, you're basically slamming the gas getting off the corner, especially with all the grip they have with the PJ1.
Okay. I'm laughing right now because, Workman, remember when you went on that little rant of what if getting screwed on pit road?
Yes, I do.
It happened again.
Oh my god! Oh.
No.
In qualifying?
Yeah, he was
qualifying.
He came off. Of
it happened
road.
Again. Okay, wait, where is it?
It happened on.
Where is it?
He was coming out of pit road, and he got served.
Where is it?
Oh no!
I can't find it.
Oh no!
Where is it?
Yeah, I'm watching right now. I'm watching Sloppy Joe's live stream on YouTube. I'm gonna have Joseph Lombard's on my phone, so I'm gonna have 2 different screens on my end, as well as Cody's screen that he might help me out with later on in the broadcast. But I'm watching Joey. Joey right now, he's in 5th, and he's losing ground. Like I said,
if what if doesn't get a decent qualifying spot, I'm telling you, it's just terrible.
The grind's out. There you go.
By the way, my dream, is for Jimmy Spencer to somehow see this, and I need him to give me a good grading scale on 1 to 5. How will I do it?
Right.
Well, I do want to say this.
dream.
I'm watching the qualifying race right now. Oh, and we just wrecked.
Who?
Lombard and someone else just wrecked.
Oh no!
Oh.
Joe just came through the middle. I can't tell on because it doesn't show his thing, but I'm gonna have to check that out. But Sloppy Joe is now in 3rd.
Ooh.
Okay, there we go. So it looked like it was Black Flags Matter. It was either What If or Joseph Lombard that was in that. I can't tell, but What If looks like he's rebounded to 6th, so that's good.
I'm going to say, too, even though we only have about 10, 11 cars racing tonight, Bristol itself, it's a short track, but, we call it the fastest half mile for a reason because, these guys are just turning 15, 16-second lap times.
Yeah, it's good.
And, you just think about, even it's not just the lead lap cars, it's the lap down cars as well, and lap traffic. And especially with, guys, as the run goes on, they want to migrate to the top lane a bit. It's going to be difficult to get around lap traffic. Yeah,
getting around lap traffic is going to be the big key here. That's going to be where you're going to see a lot of drivers really fighting for position, and that's going to be a position as well. Say if someone's leading coming up to those lap cars, it's going to really change the outlook of the race.
Yeah, so right now they can see you.
Hey!
Yeah,
Hello.
Yeah, you're going to have to deal with all the stuff around here, but hey, otherwise you got Cody and Ryan. So now,
howdy.
Now Cody can pull out whatever he wanted to.
Yeah,
Yep.
Cody can pull. He's got his helmet.
There you go.
There it is.
You know he's dying in there. He is dying.
He's so proud though. That's the thing. You know, as long as he's happy, I'm happy. That's what that's
All right, we all got the. All right, Cody, you need to take that off. We got the invite. He's not rushing. Yeah, come on, Cody. You gotta get that off.
Hurry up, Cody. You're gonna get in trouble.
Oh, don't worry. You got 25 seconds. So it looks like Joey Stone won pole. Second is What If. Third is Rusty Walrus. Fourth is Brendan. Fifth is DriveThrough. Sixth is Cody H Gaming. Seventh is Darian. Eighth is Joseph Lombard. Ninth is Jake Baskinger. And I'm guessing only 9 cars are racing.
No, Rusty.
Rusty's third.
Oh yeah, Rusty's. Okay, yeah, you finished. Okay, gotcha.
All right.
Okay.
And waiting for it to hit the loading screen. All right, boom. Okay. So now, sorry again about this, all this stuff going on. We can transition now, finally. All right, so we're gonna have to go on Discord because with Zoom, you cannot last longer than 30 minutes or 40 minutes.
Okay, so I'll get on Discord then?
Yeah.
Okay, sounds good.
All right.
Go into there now.
You hear that, Cody? All right. Sorry, a little issue, folks. That's a problem with Zoom. All right, here we go. Night racing at Bristol on the device. Joey Stone leads into the green flag.
Joey's got a big lead right here. This is going to be where we really see these guys probably following the line. They're going to probably get in a good rhythm. You know, like I said, this race is a long race. It's 250 laps. So this is where you're going to see these guys really just want to get in line, save their stuff, try not to wreck. And that's where we're going to see the real difference.
All right, so right now, put down the game out just a bit there. All right, so Joey Stone is leading. Second place is What If, and third is a 59 car, Rusty Walrus. Hey, he has a little throwback, the Intimidator.
I love that paint scheme.
Ready to see what happens here. Okay, a little bit of action near the back of the pack. Lombard up top, DriveThrough down low. Oh, and in the wall goes the 82.
There's already a little bit of shuffling right here. I'm watching from on board of Black Flags Matter. He's chasing down Cody H Gaming as they're 3 wide, and I think that's 3 and 4. Yes.
Well, the 38 car just hit the wall again. All right, so Ryan, you've raced here at Bristol before. Which lane would you rather be in, top or bottom?
If the bottom lane has that, if they put the sticky stuff in the game, then I would definitely say the bottom. But it appears the top is probably the best place to go. It seems like you're able to carry more momentum up there. So from what I'm seeing right now, the top is the place to go. Black Flags Matter. Darian, he's getting a lot of pressure from behind. Gets bumped, shoved out of the groove, almost wrecks it. But he holds on to it right there. And to the outside, this is going to be a fierce battle. Oh, almost 3 wide. Joseph Lombard's on his bumper. You got a 3-car tango going through turns 1 and 2 right here.
And now DriveThrough to the inside of the 82 car. Now DriveThrough down low and Lombard up top.
Oh boy, okay.
Everything's all good. They're keeping it going right now so far.
So far.
Yeah, so far. Meanwhile, up front, Joey
Yes.
Stone has put up a massive gap on the rest of the field.
Yeah, right now I'm looking at his stream right now on the bottom of my corner, and he's got about nearly a 1.5 2-second lead. That's a big lead at Bristol.
WhatiFRacing in the second car, second place car, I should say, he's getting some trouble, getting some pressure by that 59 car. I mean, if you have a black car like that at Bristol on your rearview mirror, that's a bit intimidating, let's just say.
I would definitely say that's intimidating. And I'm looking at this race right now. Yes, there's only 9-10 cars in this field, but there's battles all over the track.
Yeah.
Joseph Lombard's now looking the inside of Darian.
You got
Side by side out of the corner.
You got 4 cars under a blanket there. Look at the 38 car even trying to get into the mix.
And for me, I can't drive this game straight whenever I played it. So the fact they're able to do this 2 and 3 wide without hitting each other, Joseph puts the bumper to Darian.
And remember, we have stages now, so, you know, these guys can get aggressive because they know they're going to have at least 2 cautions in this race.
Yeah, and that's going to be big when it comes to how this race plays out. That's going to change the whole complexion of the race as Joseph Lombard's still fighting the inside of Darian. And that's what I was saying. That top is a lot better than you'd expect. He's really able to carry the momentum on the top side. Joseph is now looking to clear him out of turn number 4. Can't get there. Yes, he does. Clear out of turn number 4.
And now Darian has got a bit of pressure from the 77 car. He just hit the wall trying to go in the high lane, get the drive off the corner. So we got a battle for 6 here, and then you also got a battle for 2nd. Look at this mess of cars.
Yeah, this is going to be a huge race right here. These guys there's a huge gap going into the corner there. And it looks like Davin's going to get around Darian. No, he's not. They just door slammed in the middle of the corner.
Ooh. And the 77 now finally clears him, entering 3, I believe. Yes, 3 and 4.
One thing that sticks out to me is the huge cluster of cars from 2nd to 5th. They're all within a second of each other.
But between each other, between 2nd and 9th, meanwhile, 1st place, I believe he's opened up that gap even more.
Oh, yeah. He has a gap of nearly 3 seconds at this point.
Oh,
yeah, we got you.
All right, there we go.
Yeah, there we go.
Workman in here. All right, so now we got our full crew here for Bristol.
Hey, but Ryan, I heard, just because you mentioned it earlier, you talked about it a little bit earlier, if that PJ1 compound, if it is present in this game, and it is. It is definitely a big deal here. You see actually Lombard back here. He's trying to make some use of it, as well as Rusty Walrus. But, I mean, just because, like, you know, how these cars are built up, the preferred lane is still the top line. But I think we're going to see guys who is what if is trying to do right now. He's trying to get that really good diamond line coming off these corners, and he's able to gas it up, and those rear tires are able to grip down to that traction compound.
Yeah, and that's where I feel like the race is going to be really. I feel like that's where the race is going to be won. I mean, you look at this race. Say if there's a caution with 4 or 5 laps to go, and we go into overtime, that bottom is going to be where in my opinion, that's where I would be.
Right now, everyone's one driver goes to the top lane. Brian Pasternak, the battle now for 3rd place as the 1 car is starting to slip back just a bit.
How about Rusty Walrus? I mean, he's been like in the back 3rd of the field for most of these races, and he's proven that, you know, with his great qualifying run here, he isn't just falling to the back. He is adamant in holding the 2nd position right now, and he's doing a phenomenal job of holding off WhatiF and Littell, who fell back a little bit.
Yeah, and one thing I'm seeing right now on my other screen, I have 3 screens running right now just to make sure that I can get as good of an idea of what's going on as possible. I'm watching Cody H right now. He's running somewhat of a middle line. Now, that line could be good, but it looks like he's actually getting a little bit tight off the corners, killing any speed that he gained through the center. Right now, it looks to me like 2nd through 4th are in a line. They're basically in a train right now. So that's where the fight is. Oh, and they get loose.
Well, let's fall back to near the back of the pack. One driver that has slipped tremendously is the 25 car, Darren Gilliam. He just got passed by Jake Baskinger for the 9th and final spot.
I'm wondering, like, I gotta wonder if, you know, if he possibly, like, maybe made a mistake of choosing the wrong preset or whatnot, because he is going absolutely backwards, almost like, you know, something's going absolutely wrong with his car. Not necessarily a mechanical issue, but he's just getting tremendously loose coming off these corners, has no traction at all. He's definitely going to be making some steps here.
Yeah, and that surprises me. I went back and watched, the Eldora All-Star race and all that stuff, and Jake had struggled. So to see him actually come through the field a little bit here, that's seeing progress from him. He could be a factor when you get later on in this race, especially with the race being 250 laps. That's where you're going to see a lot of drivers who maybe aren't as fast at the beginning start to come to life at the end.
Look at this 5-car battle, maybe even a 6-car battle for 2nd place. Side by side for 3rd is the 1-car Pasternak. He just lost a spot.
We saw right there to Littell. Oh, got loose, but we saw Littell. He made that pass work on the bottom. He used that traction compound all the way around this racetrack, and it took him a couple laps, but he was able to get around that 1-car Pasternak on the bottom, and looks like Lombard's going to try to do the same thing here, but Littell has a decent car right now.
Yeah, that looks like the 1 car's really falling back, and they were sideways.
Oh, Cody! Oh, Cody! Oh, no!
He's saying
That was almost real
He
bad.
saves it.
I hope
Oh
these
my
guys
goodness.
know we still have like 200 so laps left, right?
Well, I hope they know that the finish of this stage is just the finish to the stage, not to the finish of the race. I mean, this is the first race that guys have had stage races on so far this season, and I think with that, guys are being extra aggressive trying to get as high up as possible at the end of the stages. Even though there's no stage points, it is earn you track position when we go back racing on these restarts.
It currently right now is lap 33 out of 62 in stage 1. Just give a little update to the people watching right now.
Cody had a big issue out of turn number 3 there. He got really sideways and lost a ton of ground to a bunch of cars here.
Oh,
He's now back to.
Someone got loose into the wall.
Oh, Rusty! That's Rusty. Something.
Oh,
he was
no.
in second.
Oh,
He's gonna go
no.
from second all the way back to 7th.
And it came off of turn 4. You talk about in your workman's world there, Cody. That was an issue. Drivers get loose off the corner.
Well, it's that seam. It's that seam coming off of turn 2 and turn 4 because of this progressive banking. If you come off in the middle lane here, that back end of that car just wants to snap around because of that uneven surface. And I think that's what happened to Rusty there. And we saw the same thing right there with Littell. He got a little bit loose running that middle lane.
Yeah, it seems like turn 4 all night has been a trouble spot. And someone's in the inside wall.
I believe that was the 59.
DriveThrough's on the apron. He's off the pace a little bit. And Cody's going to go down low.
And
that
again,
was Rusty Walrus.
And again, it's that run off the corner. You're talking about that seam.
And Lombard just got loose as well. Here comes What If back on the outside.
What If has really come to life.
Oh, there we go.
Oh, and they hit.
What If just slammed? I don't know if that was the 82 car that body slammed the one car.
I think that may have been a little bit of that may have been a little bit of a message because I think was it not the 82 car that got loose and put the one car into the wall a few laps earlier? So
oh, Cody got loose again into the inside wall right there.
Oh man, this this racing is incredible from second on back. This is very funny. Look at from first place, Joey Stone. He's in a ghost out. Oh, and someone just got loose. That was a 59 car. Oh, and he in the wall.
Oh, and it's going to get Darian as well.
Oh, and that's going to be out the caution.
Yeah,
that was right in front of the 8 car.
I was about ready to say that, too, that Sloppy Joe. He had almost a half a lap lead over all these guys as they were battling for second.
He had some really big contact right there.
All right, well, first caution out, I believe, on with 24 laps to go in stage 1. So, drivers, what do? Do you stay out or do you pit?
Tires. No question.
Yeah, tires
at
are
all.
definitely being lost right here. I mean, you saw What If come through the field, basically just running through the field. It was a big difference from the front and the back half of the pack from the beginning to the end of the run. So obviously tires are a big thing. Now it's a matter of what these guys do for adjustments.
All right, here we go off turn 4. Joey's on the inside, Lombard on the outside. Restart once again here at Bristol.
Let's see if Lombard, if he's going to be able to take advantage of that outside lane. But, I mean, Sloppy Joe just getting up to speed. He can use a great job of that traction compound, and he's sticking on the low side here.
4 wide for last place, and in the wall is Walrus and the 38 car, Baskinger.
Yeah, this is getting really physical further back in the pack. These guys they know under these short runs that they have to get the positions.
This is just a short sprint, too, just with about 25 laps to go here. That's only about 5-6 minutes of racing here. So they're going to get the most that they can out of these tires with another pit stop coming here at the end of the stage.
I don't know if Ariel, but I had to look at the 82 in the one car. The one car Pasternak, that last lap, he had the opportunity to go to the inside, but decided to just keep pushing Lombard up the racetrack.
On the 82, he's holding this one car up a little bit. Lombard, he got
whoa.
there goes to Cody.
Put him in the wall. Oh, and there goes
Cody.
Gilliam, and he puts him in the wall.
Oh, man, this is getting really physical further back in the pack.
And this 82 car is just holding everybody up right now, and I think that's where we're seeing Brian trying to be really aggressive, trying to get around him, but he scraped the wall a bit. And that's going to allow the 82 to come back on the inside.
He pulled a nice slide job right there. If he could hold that top.
Oh, it spins the 25.
Oh, no.
The 25 car Gilliam spins. Caution is not out.
He hit the apron. That's what spun him.
Yeah, he hit the apron off of 4, I believe. No, off of 2, I should say. Wow.
And that's the tricky part as well. You know, this track, it is super banked, and it's very tempting to get down to that low side. If you touch that apron, you're going to go around no matter what.
Especially with the diamond too. I've personally have done it numerous amount of times when you're just trying to get a super aggressive diamond off these corners, and the point of getting a diamond is that you can have a much better straightaway speed, and he may have just got a little bit too low there and just barely clipped that left front tire on that apron, and it's like butter, Ryan. It just spins you right around.
Yeah, I've played Heat 4, and I mean, I just know, that apron, it's not as bad as it used to be in the previous installments of the game, but it's still deadly, and you don't want to get any of your tires on there.
All right, so now the one car has cleared the 82 car of Joseph Lombard. Now he's have to try and recollect himself and now go after the 8 car Joey Stone, who surprisingly, I expect at least with the way they were racing for second place, I thought the 8 car would just be gone, but now the 1 car, he still has him in his sights.
Well, the biggest thing to me is that I'm watching his stream on my right. He's running a really smooth line. He's not all over the place. He's not jerky with the car. He goes through turns 1 and 2, lets it just roll. You see, there's a lot less jerkiness in the car. It's a funny way to explain it, but there's not a lot of jerkiness, and I think that's what's helping him pull away. He's a lot smoother than everyone else.
I think that too, and with him actually rolling these corners a bit, and not really jerking it a lot around, not driving it hard into these corners, that's allowing him to use less tire. And I mean, I know under that last run that with the amount of those guys from second on back were racing, yes, that cost them time as well, but Joey Stone, he just had a phenomenal long run car, and that's what allowed him to pull away to almost a half a lap lead.
So there's almost like a strip of black, where you see all the rubber laid down on the top, and I think that's kind of where he's using as a mark. He has his right side tires in that black strip on the top, and that's where he's able to keep the run on the top. So I think by putting his tires up there, keeping that momentum, that's where he's able to get the great launch off the corners.
Right there, that's about the only mistake that he's made all race. He just made a little tap in that wall right there, and right there again a little bit too, but so far, Joey, he has been very, very consistent.
Yeah, and frankly, a little wall contact, especially at Bristol, that's normal, whether it's in the video game or in real life.
I think in the video game is more forgiving than in real life.
Yeah, the video game's a little more forgiving. I know what that turn 4 wall tastes like. It's not too great.
Yeah, Joey Stone, he's riding on cloud 9 so far in the Core League. The past 3 times the Core League went racing, including the All-Star race, he has won.
Oh, car on the inside wall. I think it's the 82 of Lombard.
Oh, it is, and he comes
up in front of Jake.
Oh,
he came right up in front of Jake.
And yeah, he was falling back really fast through the field. I'm really curious to see how this all happened.
And no caution.
That's crazy.
I think what happened, he got loose off of 4, and then he came smack down to the inside wall, and then he just came straight back up the racetrack trying to get back into the racing lane and just didn't see the 38 car.
Well, I have Cody H Gaming's stream on my left, and it's actually a lot behind. It looks like, wow, yeah, he just got loose off of 4. He got loose off of turn 4. Same thing that you said, that seam. He got loose down there, hit the inside wall, and just struggled to get back on the track.
All right, so but that's a tough break for the 38 car. It's let's just be blunt here. He's had a horrible season so far. Oh, caution is out, I believe.
I think that's the end of the stage, right?
Stage end.
Oh,
yes.
stage ended. Ah, okay, that's why.
Yes.
So we were focused on that. We forgot the stage ended. All right, so.
Yeah, we lost track, but Sloppy Joe gets the stage win with What If in second. Another big pull to the finish there by What If.
Yeah, what's interesting about that is that unlike the first run, the 8 car just got away from the 1 car of What If, and What If was in second place. It's not like he was being challenged by anyone. This time, however, the 8 car, he was able to get away, but not as much as the last one. It looks like that 1 car made some adjustments to his liking.
We were talking about Cody H struggling at the beginning, but he was able to actually come in and get 4th at the end there, just kind of biding his time and avoiding all the mess. And then Rusty
got a great job getting past Littell for 5th. He pulled a little bit of a slide job there with 2 to go, and I mean he just with him starting up in second and starting up in third. Like, it wasn't just qualifying that's keeping him up there. He was able to get up there, but wow, we got a new leader.
Oh, the 77 DriveThrough, 2-time winner this season, trying to go for 3 this season. Green flag is back in the air for stage 2.
Yeah, I just knew right there on that bottom he was going to struggle coming to the green, but they're side by side going into turn number 1.
That zoned the lead up top, and I think DriveThrough, he may have taken 2 tires or something because he did not get a good launch at all on that inside lane.
Yeah, I believe from what I saw, I didn't even see that he really pitted.
Sorry to cut you out there, Ryan, but the 82 car just dive bombed turn 2. Yeah, he dive bombed
all over the track.
Yeah, he dive on turn 2 to try to get underneath the 1 car for second. That 82 car, he has been very aggressive.
Oh, here comes Rusty. Rusty makes it 3 wide.
That was a big move back in the pack there.
Oh, and the 25 car. Oh.
And there goes, oh.
And they're still battling.
And Rusty falls all the way back to the 8th position because of that.
Yeah, now he's battling the 25 car. Darren, who spins off of 2, clip the apron, spins into the inside wall.
Oh, and the 22 put the 77 and the 82 in the outside wall.
On the 59 spins.
Around.
2 spins. Wow, both coming off of the corners. No caution.
I think what happened with Rusty, that was more or less from contact. Like there was, I think the 22 Littell, he drove in a little bit deep. That put the 82 into the outside wall, and that just backed everything up, and it caused those guys who were like 7th, 8th to check up. And when they did that, that just spun them out.
Yeah, that's just one of those deals where they're being really aggressive, slamming into each other. They know that this is still, yes, it's a long stage, but they know there's a caution coming. They know that there's going to be an end to this run before their final run to the finish. So they're trying to get as much track position as possible.
I was just about to say that. You alluded to that point there, Ryan. The fact that these drivers know that there's going to be a caution, or at least 2 cautions from every race now on, they're going to be very, very aggressive. It's going to keep the racing a lot closer, and it's just going to be a lot more intense for the drivers.
Speaking of closer, that 1 car, Brian Pasternak, yeah, he got held up a little bit under this past restart, but he is starting to slowly but surely catch that 8 car of Joey Stone. Now over the past couple laps, he's kind of matched him for lap times a bit, but if this entire stage can go green, I want to see if that 1 car, Pasternak, we saw him with a better, after that first caution in stage 1, we saw him actually being able to stay and maintain pace with that 8 car. And now with that being a short run, I want to see with this long run if he can track him down, and it looks like he did in that corner.
One thing that stood out to me big time before that last caution, when Joey had to come in for tires, his right front tire was a lot more worn out than the rest of the other cars. So I feel like he's gone with a little bit more of a tighter setup. That may hurt him as the run goes on, and that may be what gives What If a little bit of an edge towards the end.
Oh, he just hit the wall coming off of 4, I should say. So that 1 car, he is pushing it very hard in order to try and catch up to the 8 car Joey Stone, who has led, I believe, every single lap so far in this race.
That's what Joey has to do too as well. We saw how aggressive he's been the past 2 races, and he's made it known too with his points gap and him missing those first 2 races of the season, as well as a 5-point penalty to start off the year. He has got to go out and get every single point possible. And remember, you get bonus points in this league for not just leading a lap, but also for getting the most laps led. So he's pushing as hard as he can right now just so he can secure that most laps led bonus point.
Yeah, to further bring up something else. Yeah, you were right that he has to get as many points as possible because, yes, winning gives you a lot of points, but if your competitors are right behind you, 1 or 2 spots away, you gain very little. What if right now he's second? He's technically tied for the lead right now. Joey Stone, I believe, is 24, 25 points behind in 4th place. He needs as many points as possible, and he's going to have to try and make sure. He doesn't mind if that driver in 3rd place, Brendan Littell, leads a lap, but he does not want What If to get any sort of points, whether it's a lap, lead lap sled, or anything like that.
Yeah, and to me right now, Joey's getting in a really good rhythm. He's actually extended that gap, not by a lot, by just about 2/10 right there. Really trying to hold What If off, but then there's another battle brewing further back in the field. We got 4th and 5th really starting to get after it, as you have N2SC4R and Cody H really getting after it here.
Man, that 82 car, he has just been in a battle with everyone, it seems like.
Yeah, he's been really aggressive
this race. He's trying to come back too.
Oh no, he's being very aggressive running into people. Cody, do you think he's suffering from IDKism?
I wouldn't say just yet. I wouldn't say just yet. He's pointing in the right direction, and he's on the lead lap. So.
Yeah, from what I see, I don't see anybody that isn't on the lead lap. Is anybody a lap down?
No.
I think the only cars that are in jeopardy of maybe going a lap down, we're looking back right now, Rusty Walrus is about 2 seconds ahead of Darian, and Darian is only a straightaway ahead of our leader, Sloppy Joe. So I want to see if these guys can have a decent enough setup to be able to go to the end of the stage, if they can stay in front of our leader.
You just saw the 77 car of DriveThrough off the corner, as like many other drivers get loose off the corner, nearly hit the inside wall, keeps it going. But how about the 38 car of Jake Baskinger? I know it's not much, but he's able to catch up the cars and even contend for position. What a great performance by that 38 car.
He's been really coming to life here. I mean, you see him looking to the inside of Joseph Lombard. I know Joseph's pretty dang good at this game. So the fact that he's able to get up with Joseph and threaten for the position, that's honestly impressing the heck out of me right now.
Too, and kind of like his lane of choice, per se, has been that bottom line. And even though that bottom line, yeah, it may not be as fast as that top line, it does have more grip in it. And with these guys trying to push the boundaries on that outside lane, on that seam, them getting loose or whatnot, I think Jake is just, focused on with a stable car. Interesting to see what his tire wear is going to be like, but so far his stable car is able to have him contend with these guys.
Yeah, now we have a pretty tame race as of right now. We have WhatiF, who's now back to a 1.1 second gap lead of Sloppy Joe. Cody H is kind of falling back as well.
Drive-through on the bottom of the racetrack, and I believe turns 1 and 2 or 3 and 4.
Yeah. He's on pit road.
Oh,
I'm not sure if he got loose. Did he get loose? Was he trying to come on pit road?
Well,
I feel like that may have been an accident.
Or the way I think these guys, they may have to possibly make pit stops in this stage. So
I mean,
he came down. He was off the pace down, like coming into turn 3 down the back straightaway. He just didn't pull right back onto the racetrack.
Remember, not all.
But it looks
drivers,
like gas to go for him.
Not all drivers pitted on that.
Oh, that's right.
One caution.
He was the one who did it.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. That's right. That's why he was able to get out in front.
Yeah, so that's where this race really changed, and that explains a lot as to why. So I had a feeling he didn't pit. I was curious if he took 2, but I guess he just completely didn't pit altogether. So obviously ran out of fuel there. He probably was anticipating a much shorter run, which with how physical these guys were getting at the beginning, I was too.
I mean, yeah, because I was wondering, like, especially when that stage 2 started, this DriveThrough lost a ton of ground. Like, I know the outside lane is the way to go, or at least a more, you get that drive up the corner, you get a bigger gap on your competitor on the inside. But he lost a lot of ground on the inside lane.
Yeah,
here's what I want to watch too is with DriveThrough, he was tied with WhatiF going into tonight as the points leader. If I'm Joey Stone right now, I am pushing that car to lap the next car in front of me, Darian Gillum. Because if you lap that guy, that takes DriveThrough out of the lucky dog spot for the end of this stage 2. And that just keeps DriveThrough another lap down.
And there's a lot of time to the end of stage 2, so he could get there before, unless we have a caution. But he is really quickly catching Darian right now.
Yeah, Darian, he has just been off the pace so far in this race. He's right now the only driver, I believe, to finish. Actually, no, he's finished in the top 5 in all but one race. So he's been very consistent this season. But right now, even though he's in 9th place, so technically he's going to get a top 10 regardless, it is not the race he wanted to have so far.
Car on the front straight with Jake Bassinger around, and DriveThrough runs right into him.
No way!
And the 59!
Oh, big hits!
I think caution's out. Caution is
out. Wow.
That saves DriveThrough right there.
It would if he was 1 lap down. He was 2 laps down.
Doesn't.
Yeah, he was 2 laps down at caution. Now that caution is going to put him back now to just 1 lap down. And I believe with stage cautions, when that comes along, you can just take the wave around, get back in the lead lap. So technically, this does help him.
Yeah, and you see a majority of the field pitting here. Right now, I don't see Cody H really committing to pit yet, so that could be a big one. There he is. Okay, now he's pitting.
All right.
I was just about to talk about Cody too. He was starting to make his charge his way through the field. He was contending for 3rd.
And Littell has moved up a spot. He's now in 2nd. He's going to maintain that top side position coming to the green.
Let's see what happens entering 1. And Stone gets the edge through the center of 1 and 2 and gets to drive off. Littell is going to settle in for 2nd, maybe not. He's got the 1 car, Brian Pasternak, on his left rear corner battle, and the 1 car just bumped the 82 car up the racetrack.
He's doing what he has to do right now.
Look at Littell to the outside.
Littell had a really good job of getting that good run off of 2 and off of 4 under that first lap of the restart.
Whoa.
And he's right on Joey's bumper.
Whoa.
This is out of nowhere here, but it appears that Littell made the right move. He could have a better short run car than Joey.
Oh, he gives him a shot!
Littell
Big
pushes
shot
him up
to
the
the bumper.
racetrack. That bump and run. Classic Bristol move, but Joey Sohn still holds the lead.
Here goes that 82 car, Littell too.
He's going to have to do it again if he wants to get by him. That seems like the only way he's able to get by him is he's going to have to move him.
Yeah, and you have Joseph Lombard on his bumper too, so he's got to go.
And he's got the one car behind him who has issues with the 82 car.
Yeah, this
Guys
is
are
getting
really
really
hugging this
physical
bottom
now.
lane.
Joey is now, for the first time in this race, facing a challenge.
But for how long that 22 car is starting to slip back just a bit.
Yeah, he just
Notice a lot of
collected the
these
wall.
guys a lot of these guys are just kind of hugging this bottom lane right now. And it seems like the bottom lane, to your point, Ryan, you talked about it earlier, the bottom lane may be a little bit more favorable at the beginning of these runs with fresh tires.
Yeah, that's just usually the case at these tracks that have multiple grooves. You want to start off low, but then as the race goes on, whether it be 1 or 2 or 20 laps, you're going to progressively move up. And you can see now the pack is starting to move up further and further.
And something else is happening. The 22 car is starting to close the gap. And I say that he got loose. Hits the wall off of 2.
It's a little kiss. I think he's still good.
Right now, single file first through third. Meanwhile, back in 4th place. Look at the 25 car. Darren Gillian was stuck in 9th place. Had a horrible
We talked about
run.
that consistency earlier, but now he's back in the top 5, looking to continue that streak.
Oh, look at here comes Cody H. Cody H. He's trying to make his way up to the field. Right before that last caution came out, he was contending for 3rd place.
That 25 looked like he pulled a slide job off of 2.
Yeah, and we talk about
But yeah,
how much.
Cody.
Yeah, Ryan.
We talk about how much better some cars are to start the run. I mean, you're looking at Darian now comfortably in 4th. Can he maintain that? And it looks like Littell is even falling back even further. Now falling further in the clutch of Joseph Lombard as he almost threatens Joey for the lead.
Man, that 38 car nearly ran into the back end of the 59 car, who hits the wall, slams into the 77 car, and the 38 car Baskinger gets the worst of it.
Oh, you hate to see that, really.
Yeah, and the 77 car, remember, he is 1 lap down. He's not for position.
He's trying to do whatever he can right here. He's in salvage mode. He knows that there's a caution coming in about 10, 11 laps, and he's just trying to get as much as he can, try to stay on that lead lap. It's very, with the field we have and how short the run is, it is more than likely he's going to stay on the lead lap. But say if he gets loose, say if he hits that apron, he needs to stay as further up in the field as possible.
And with the amount of drivers that have been getting loose off of corners, getting the apron and spinning out, he might have a great opportunity of at least getting back on the lead lap before this race is over.
The biggest mover I'm watching right now is Darian. He's catching that 2nd and 3rd place group of Brendan Littell and Joseph right now.
Looking back just about 6 spots, Cody H. Gaming, and yeah, he won Daytona earlier this year, but since that point, his season hasn't been going really good at all. And he's had speed here tonight. He was contending with Littell for the 3rd position before that last caution came out, and he looks to have a decent mid to long run car here.
Yeah, and he's got. Oh, sorry, go on, Ryan.
No, yeah, it seems like with these shorter runs, some drivers prove to be more prevalent. The Littell really charging, and Darian, as he's starting to get closer to that back bumper of Joseph.
Ooh.
But I mean, that's what I'm talking about. You're going to see Cody H. really coming through the field. I feel like if this run went any longer, he may be a threat. But as of right now, it's just going to be the short run city right now.
That 25 car, he is all over the back bumper. The 82 car is now one car of Joey Sohn. He's able to get a bit of a gap between him and Brendan Littell in 2nd place. But like I said, the 25 car, he pushed the 82 car up the racetrack.
Oh my goodness. Oh, he's going to try a undercut.
Contact again.
He's getting aggressive right here. He wants that spot. He knows he's looking at a podium finish for this stage.
And the reason why, because we're down to 5 laps to go in stage 2. So the time is now to make a move.
This is a really tight battle from 2nd all the way back to 6th. You have all these cars in a line, really within striking distance of each other. If someone wants to bite the bullet and actually hit someone, now's the time to do it.
You see that 82 car of Lombard, he's really holding that 25 car Darian down, because right there, great job, great run off of the turn 2 right there by Darian, and he's door to door with Lombard.
Yeah, this is a really good battle right here. Darian has a really good run and Piers in this long run. He may have found some.
Oh, and he put him in the wall. He put him in the wall. And this is the final lap. Final lap.
Like I said, now
Cody's gonna make it 3 wide for fourth.
Chaos in stage 2 as the 8 car Joey Stone. I believe he will win stage 2 coming off of turn number 4. And Joey Stone.
An 82 car tried to give some payback to Darian, drove into turn 3 really hard.
Joey Stone.
He fell all the way back to 8th.
Joey Stone wins stage 2, and as chaos ensues behind him. Wow. All right, so since it is the start of stage 2, and we are at a place called Thunder Valley, I don't know.
Oh, baby, I like where this is going.
I don't know, Cody, Ryan, we had this thing where we decided to crank it up, but we decided to have a different name of our own. Why don't we go a bit of hardcore? Why don't we go hardcore this time around?
Let's do it.
All right. We're going to kick off hardcore once stage 3 begins.
Wait for it.
Wait for it. Wait for it. We're going to sit back, relax just for 2 or 3 laps. Enjoy some good old NASCAR stock car racing from Thunder Valley. Okay, we were going hardcore for a bit there, but these drivers are going really hardcore. The 28 and the 25 are battling very hard off the corner, and 28 and 25 make contact, and Darren nearly hit the wall, but managed to keep it going, albeit in last place.
And we talked about it earlier. During that time, we were off the air, I guess you could say. The 77 car is now on the lead lap. He's going to be charging through the field, maybe even being more aggressive than Joseph.
I mean, what Joseph was very aggressive. If DriveThrough is going to be more aggressive than Joseph, then that's going to be very fun for us to watch.
Yeah, you're going to see people sending people this time out. You're going to see someone lay to the bumper to people, send them up the track, and probably try to make some moves. This is a little bit of a longer run, but it's going to be a lot more challenging.
Something a little bit different now under this restart than the last one. The 22 Littell.
Oh, he's
after a few laps of green. He is still on the back bumper of that 8 car of Joey Stone. He's keeping him honest here. And I'm wondering if that 22 car, Littell, if he made some adjustments, knowing that the last run was a bit of a shorter run, if he made the adjustments here for this long run here, not knowing if we're going to get another caution here.
One thing, though, that I think Brennan's going to have to keep in mind is to not try and push the issue. You know that the leader is right in front of you, but you don't want to start making aggressive moves because, like Ryan, you said there earlier, it's a longer run. You don't want to push your tires this early on.
Yeah, we talked about it often. Joey, he's been very smooth with his tires, and that's what matters the most, just keeping those tires underneath you. You see him as these runs go on. Yeah, he gets to a big gap, but he's able to maintain that gap. If that's something that he can keep doing throughout this run, if there's no caution, he will be by far the winner.
And I think either you or Cody were talking about how DriveThrough, I think it was you, Ryan, that talked about DriveThrough back on the lead lap. He's already made his way up to 5th place. Started in the dead last. Oh, he put the bumper to the one.
A little bit of a shot to Ryan right there.
It's send time.
Oh,
boys.
and Cody's
Let's
gonna
go.
get loose.
Man,
Yeah, and you know who else gave someone a little bit of a bumper was that 22 car, Littell. He got up on the back bumper of that 8 car of Joey Stone, like, hey, dude, I know you've been leading this race, but I'm here.
Hey, sharing is
And
caring,
now's
right?
the time to do that. You know, you got to start getting in Joey's head a little bit. I'm watching Joey's stream, still on the bottom right of my multiple screens that I'm watching. Littell is in his mirror. That's the biggest thing you see. Joey is watching that entire screen, and he sees Littell stalking him. So if Joey makes a mistake, Littell's right there.
And one just made a mistake was a 22 car Littell.
Man,
I mean, with
really hate that.
Bristol,
He had a good run going right there. Maybe he can rebound and try to reel him back in.
So here's what I think about just Bristol in general. I mean, I know like a lot like short tracks in general and road course, they're such rhythm racetracks because of how quickly you're getting around some of these tracks. But Bristol more than other places, we talked about it earlier, 15 to 16 second lap times around a 1.5 mile racetrack. You just scrape the wall just once off of exit like Littell did. Look how much ground that he lost. You just have a little scrape of the wall like that. That messes up your rhythm so much.
Well, we talk about rhythm. The biggest thing to get you out of your rhythm as Joey gets loose out of turn number 4. Sorry, excuse me, turn number 2. Ooh, big slide.
Oh, look at 5th place. The 77 just put the one car.
Oh, he got him really loose.
Oh,
really loose right there.
That looked a bit intentional.
He's just getting in his head right there right now. We're talking about it. This is the time. It's the final stage. These guys are going to get a lot more aggressive, start giving a lot more pushing and shoving. This is the time to make your moves.
Well, in DriveThrough too, remember he had to start at the back of this entire pack because he got that lead lap. He got the lucky pass under the last caution, so he's had to drive through the entire field. And now he's up to 5th. He's like, hey, dude, I've been able to get through half the field. Let me on by here.
Well, and one thing that I do want to mention, if we have this race go green for a while, we're going to start looking at green flag pit stop. That's the quickest way to get out of your rhythm right there is if you have a bad pit stop or if you just barely, have to even if you just make a pit stop, that's a quick way to just get out of your rhythm. It's how you get back into that rhythm.
The 77 got very loose off the corner, managed to keep it going, but now he's going to lose a ton
Oh, here
of ground.
comes Lombard, battle for second. Oh,
Lombard gets loose. Oh, and he spins.
Oh!
That was only going to happen. Lombard's really being aggressive, and he spins it right there.
Wow. And goes from, and he gets a hit again with the 28, and he
Oh,
puts
the
him up the
28 car.
road. Oh,
28
no.
car got loose. 28 car of Cody Hickens, he got extremely loose, and and there goes 22 car.
Littell also apparently spins.
Joseph got stuck on that inside wall there. That's what's going to really hurt this right here.
Yeah, that was the reason why we're sticking with Lombard. What happened was, I think Cody got loose off the corner, hit the right front corner panel of Lombard. That sent Lombard back onto pit road and hit into the tire barrier. Gone from bad to worse like that.
Then meanwhile, when that happened, we were trying to figure out what happened to him. Littell, he spun out. And he was just stopped going on the exit of turn 1. So our second place and third place drivers just losing it.
Yeah,
and that's what we talk about, that rhythm. You got to stay in that rhythm. It's a long race. It's a tight track. When you get in that rhythm, that's going to be the differentiator for who wins and who doesn't.
It's the longest stage so far too that we've had. Also, I mean, stage 3, stage 3 is almost double the distances of stage 1 and 2. So, I mean, yeah, we've had cautions other than the stage breaks in each stage so far, but a caution's not guaranteed. So you need to be prepared to go potentially half of this race green flag.
And 2 of the guys that I see really benefited from those spins were Rusty Walrus and Darian. They both were struggling at the beginning of this run, but now they're in 4th and 5th.
Yeah, we're just talking about the losers are that whole issue there, where the drivers of 2nd and 3rd place, Lombard and Littell, are now 8th and 9th. The winners are the 1 car of Brian Pasternak. He now jumps to 2nd, and DriveThrough now to 3rd. And that is, while that's good for those two, that's the last thing Joey Stone wanted, because he's trying to get as many points as possible in order to catch up to these 2 drivers who are tied for the lead.
We have a big battle starting to brew right here. We have Darian and Jake actually starting to get in, but Jake applying pressure to try to get in the top 5 right now off of turn number 4.
Man, so it looks like the 82 of Lombard. Oh, and the 77 spins
DriveThrough,
right in front.
Whoa!
Oh man, right in front of Rusty Walrus. And that's
just about to say too that some of these. I was just about to say, like, you know, like those, was it What If and DriveThrough, they got held up a little bit once when Littell spun in front of them, and they had to really check up, and that gave.
Oh, the 28.
Up and go.
He also got loose and hits the inside wall.
These guys are getting loose.
It's like ice out there on the racetrack.
Yeah, these tires are now really getting worn in. We talked about it all earlier. Turn number 4 is the trouble spot. You gotta have your tires underneath you at the end of these runs.
Because of that, Joey, he has a full straightaway lead over Brian Pasternak.
Yeah, all of this does is, oh, I thought the 59 car got a bit loose off the corner. He was on the apron, 2 tires below, 2 tires above. I thought he was going to spin out there for a second, but yeah, all this does is this is just going to help the A car, because these guys are racing each other very hard, getting loose, spinning out, using up their tires. The A car, he's the only one, it seems, that has not had any sort of pressure aside from Littell a few laps ago.
Something I'm watching right here on my left, you have Darian running a more middle groove, keeping a nice flow to the center, but then you have Rusty, who's doing a big diamond, entering on the bottom, going all the way to the wall and trying to get a straight drive off. From what I see, it works in the short run, but right now it's killing him now as we're later in the run. So further in the run, expect Darian to really apply the pressure to Rusty.
Right now, 85 laps remaining here at Bristol. It has been the Joey Stone show. He has led most, if not every single lap so far in this race, but it has been utter chaos from second on back. It seems like every driver has spun except for Joey.
Well, and Brian Pasternak too. I think he's been doing a pretty good job of staying consistent. The problem is he's like gained and lost his track position all race. He hasn't been up there consistently in the top 2, top 3. And also he got held up a bit when those guys in front of him spun. So like him being a full straightaway behind now, you got to start thinking, Ryan, you talked about earlier, these guys will have to pit. And we talked about how much of an issue it will be, like, if guys, like not trying to get on pit road too terribly, like not speeding, not under speeding coming down pit road. And the other thing, too, is, you know, when do you make that pit stop? Do we see Brian try to undercut Joey?
Well, one thing I'm watching is from both of the streams that I'm watching, they're going to need to pit here anywhere between the next 30 to 40 laps. So expect them to come down pit road around lap 200 to 190, anywhere between those two lap zones. That's where you're going to see these guys start coming on pit road, trying to make these big changes, and hopefully some of these guys might even try to make some wholesale changes to try and challenge Joey.
Yeah, right now the gap between first and second is 4.5 seconds between Stone and Brian Pasternak. As we see the A car of Joey Stone, he's starting to get some lap traffic up ahead. Remember, Bristol, it has been known for causing trouble with lap traffic. Let's go back to what happened in the Cup Series with Menta Benedetto and Ryan Newman. They had a bit of contact that allowed the 11 car Hamlin to close them and pass them.
Well, luckily, they don't have, you know, damage turned on.
That's true, but like it could still cause issues.
Still, just the process of, you know, holding it up.
Yeah.
Another one that's starting to pop out to me. I keep referencing Darian, but he's just in the middle of a lot of battles. Jake Baskinger is now starting to reel him in. Probably going to start applying the pressure to him as we speak.
Another battle is what's happening behind them. The 82, the 28, I believe the 77. They had a little battle there specifically between DriveThrough and Cody Hicken.
Another guy, too, that's made his way up into the top 3. Rusty Walrus with all these guys spinning, and, you know, Rusty just running a really clean line right now. He is sitting in 3rd place right now.
And that's what it's all about, you know, just keeping everything straight. You know, capitalize on others' mistakes. There's going to be spins. You might be one of those spins. So it's a matter of how you rebound.
He had a very weird entering turns 1 and 2, went below the apron and came back up. It was a very weird way of approaching that corner.
Oh, just watch Brian Pasternak a little bit. He got really loose coming off turn 4, chased it all the way down to the apron.
Another thing I think we should look at with Rusty Walrus, I mean, in terms of hype, it's been a pretty disappointing season so far. A lot of people had him as a driver to watch out for, to have a breakout year in Season 2. And so far, he's just not been living up to expectations. Just
we got trouble front straightaway. 28 car, 82 car, Lombard.
Oh!
Both spun.
Spin, and they... Oh, okay, they went through each other. I believe that might bring out a caution. No, it does not.
Lombard's just stopped on the front stretch.
He's trying to bring out a caution now. He needs it, though. He needs that caution.
Yeah, he needs a caution because he's going already, I think, 1 or 2 laps down as a result of that incident.
Yeah, I'm watching Joey stream right now, and it looks like Littell has also had an issue. He was probably involved in that as well.
The other thing, too, like, you know, when these guys, if they have an issue, when they spin, that hurts the tires big time. Even if it's just a simple spin off the corner, that takes a tremendous amount of grip out of those tires. Not necessarily flat spot them, but the car feels so different after it spins here.
Littell just got really loose in front of Joey. Joey's having to really just fight his way around Littell. But Littell's just kind of struggling right now. He's got all that damage.
What I was going to say, I was going to help the one car of WhatiFRacing, but Brian, he's been getting loose very much often off the corner. The past 2 or 3 laps, you've seen him get loose off the same corner, so that also is hurting his tires, and it's also opening up the gap between him and Stone, even though Joey has lap traffic in front of him.
We talk about it. Joey is just being very, very consistent. You know, just managing his tires, managing off the corner. He gets sideways coming off the corners, but he's using it to his advantage. He's not getting it sideways. He's being smoother on the throttle. He's feathering it off those corners. Being smooth with everything. It's not just about how smooth you are with the wheel. It's how smooth you are with the brake and the throttle. He's just managing it. As I say that, he gets loose off of 4. He's going to need tires here in any minute.
And pit stops are coming up. We have to mention what happened the past 2 races with the one car. He's probably shivering, or not shivering, but another word that starts with the letter S if he has to do green pit stops. I can't say it, but I think you guys know what I mean.
One driver who's doing that exact same thing right now is Joseph Lombard. He's about to go a lap down.
But we've seen how aggressive Lombard's been. He's not going to make it easy for Stone.
But Lombard, he's already 1 lap down. He's in jeopardy of going 2 laps down right here. And Ryan, you could probably talk from experience. You know, it can be, you know, there's some pathway back for the lap if you get if you're only 1 lap down, but coming from 2 laps down is so difficult.
And Joey gets by him, so now that into SC4R is 2 laps down. And he gets the wall.
It looked like he didn't even put up a fight there. He just gave him the position.
Yeah, he might have just kind of accepted, took his medicine, and said, I'm out.
All right, so let's take a look now at some other driver streams. Let's see.
Got a 59 car, Rusty Walrus. I think he's coming down for his pit stop right now. He's the first car to start making pit stops.
And he is. I mean, look at his right sides. I mean, they're like 34, 40%.
And that's what I'm talking about. Now I'm going to, when Joey comes down pit road right here, I'm going to take a look at his right side. If you said 34 and 40, I wonder what Joey's is right here. So we're going to watch him when he comes down pit road, and we'll see what those are at.
If I'm Brian Pasternak, I am coming down pit road now. As soon as you're in that window.
Oh, in the 25. Oh, and he spins right in front of the 8. Oh, man, okay.
That was almost bad. That was almost a game-ending performance right there.
I mean, I don't want to make this any more dramatic, but the 8 car was very close to getting his tire in pit road, because the issue with this game is if you get even 1 tire on pit road, the whole car sends you on pit road. So he was very close.
Well, he's got to pit sometime soon, and I'm kind of surprised.
Yep, here comes Pasternak. Pasternak is down pit road.
Yeah, here goes Pasternak. Let's see if we can...
Oh, Joey's slowing down. Joey's coming out, too. Joey's down on the apron.
Yeah, there he is. Okay, so now 1 car Pasternak. He's all by himself. That's good.
Yeah, his right sides, his right front, and like I said, his car's a little tighter than everybody else's. His right front's at 46, but his right rear is, his right front is at 26, his right rear is at 46. So he's got a little bit of a tighter setup, but that is what's helping him in the long run, it appears.
All right, and the 1 car gets no issues on pit road, gets out clean.
Came in 1 lap earlier than Sloppy. Don't know if that's going to be enough to really do much of a difference, but we'll see here.
Hey, we're talking about him of what if trying to undercut Joey Stone. I expected him to maybe do it 1 or 2 laps earlier.
Yeah, we talked about it. What if is now
didn't gain
30-something seconds back. Nope, never mind. Never mind. That was just a glitch and when he come on. Now he's now 6 seconds behind, so it's a net loss of about 4 seconds.
Well, I can say right now, Stone, he's got a battle in front of him. The 25 and the 22 car just banged off of 2. As the 25
They're fighting really hard to stay right now. They wanted to stay up in front of him.
And this is not what Joey Stone wants. He wants clear road in front of him. And with these 2 cars battling, Stone has nowhere to go as the 25 gets a bit of contact from the left rear of Littell.
Something I just want to mention here, we have one car who has not pitted yet, and that is the 77, the drive-through.
Oh yeah, that's
I'm wondering if drive-through, if he's gonna like try to play spoiler, and with all these guys that have been spinning out, if he's gonna maybe try to pull some crazy strategy.
Yeah, because remember, he came up here earlier. Littell gave him another shot to the 25 car side by side. Again, another contact side by side on the extra entering 3. And
you think about it right here. Yes, they're about to go a lap down, but they're racing for position. They're trying to get their spots as they're going.
And then also Jake Bassinger, he's coming up here as well. He's fighting for position as well.
This is not what the 8 car needs. He does not need all of these battles near and around him, as he now finally gets by the 22 car. But oh, and he hit the wall off of 4 there. Excuse me. I think you made a point there.
Good.
I think you made a point there, Cody, of when drive-through came on pit road. I think you said it earlier how he was trying to maybe get the lead on a long green flag run because he pitted, even though he's so far as the only driver that hasn't pitted in this run. He was the latest driver to pit it before stage 2, so he's still got some fuel in the tank.
If he really stretches it here, he maybe can get close to the end. I don't see any way that he can get to the end, though. This is a long green flag run.
Yeah, we still have like 60-something laps to go. There's no way. He's going to have to come onto pit road. The thing he's going to need is a caution, and the 38 car...
That may happen right here at this 25 and 38.
He dive bombed the 3 and 4 and put the 25 car up the racetrack, and now he's going to try to go to the high lane, but makes contact.
What Davin's doing right now is working perfectly. If he pits, he has a 1-lap lead on the field. So if he pits, he does have a little bit of breathing room for these guys. It's just a matter of not just if, but when.
I think that.
But the problem is though is that Joey Stone, he's right behind him. He's gonna unlap himself right here.
He got loose. Contact.
Really loose there, and so Joey, he unlaps himself right now. So right now, if the caution were to come out, Joey would not be trapped a lap down. But something that drive-through's got to think about too, like he is fully committed into this strategy right now. You see how much time, how loose his car is right now. This would be old tires. Right now, he's made his bed. Right now, he has got to push this thing all the way to the end because even if he makes a pit stop right here, there is a chance that he would still come out maybe a lap down behind Joey, just because like of him staying out there so long on old tires.
Yeah, it's been just 2 laps and he's lost 3 seconds to Joey. So this is going to be, he's got to, it's make or break now.
He's got to pray for a caution, and he's banking on those 3 drivers. Oh, the 28 spins! Oh, right in front of the 38 car Bassinger and drive-through. No caution, but another spin off the corner.
I gotta imagine I wouldn't doubt if we see another caution. I think it's just been lucky with these guys that have been spun out. They haven't been in front of people. But if you get someone like Darian that spins right now, like in front of the 22 car, in front of this 38, and in front of that 77, if they have nowhere to go, they run to the side of him. That's going to bring out a caution.
Right now, 11 seconds, another 3 seconds that we have been shaved out between drive-through and Joey Stone. And he's just been hitting the wall. He is losing a ton of ground.
Luckily for him, like we said earlier, hitting the wall in the game is a little different in real life, so he's able to kind of use that. He may be using the wall to turn, for all we know. So he's actually probably he's holding on by the skin of his teeth right now, just trying and hoping for a caution.
Right now, he's got the 1 car, Brian Pasternak, behind him. That is for position as the 77 car gets loose off the corner again, and now he's
but he surrenders the lead.
And he spins!
Uh-oh.
Oh, no.
He smoked that inside wall just trying to come down pit road, and wow,
this is
terrible mistake.
Yeah, this is not what the championship leader needed, and this is going to hurt him greatly in the point standings. Meanwhile, here's a battle here for 5th place. We got Darian, Brendan Littell, and Jake Baskinger.
Jake,
If
like
we're
we said
gonna,
earlier, he's the driver that's come to life at the end of this race. He's been really quick. He's got a really consistent run. Short runs, he falls back, but he capitalizes on everybody else's mistakes.
like I said, I think between these 3 cars right now, Jake, Littell, and Darian, I think Jake, he has the best long run car, and like his car's been really stable and getting a little bit looser right behind the 22 car of Littell, but still, I think if he can get around these guys, I think he can get around these 2.
And that's the battle on the track, is Joey, he's just, doing his own thing right now.
Yeah, the gap between him the gap between him and What If is now 7.2, so a full second was gained from the last run of pit stops. You see the 77 car drive-through get by Joey Stones, I believe. Now go, I think, 2 or 1 laps down.
And basically 7.5 seconds, that is half of a lap that Joey has put in front of him.
Oh man, the 38 car just got loose off the corner. Lost a ton of ground to the 25 and the 22 as Littell gets by Darian for 5th place. Or for 4th place, I should say, excuse me.
Littell, he's just trying to get back into as good of a position as he possibly can right now.
Yeah, I feel like we need to focus our camera on these 3 drivers because the way they have been racing, I mean, they want a caution, it seems like. At least they're trying to cause one.
They're racing side by side and actually, in my opinion, pretty clean. For how NASCAR Heat 4 is, how rough it is. They're racing with a lot of respect right now. Yes, there's contact, but they're trying to make sure that they don't wreck each other. And that's what's pretty awesome about this series. These guys are racing really hard, but with some respect.
But the problem was that with Bristol, there's very little room for error with this game. We've seen a ton of drivers just get loose by themselves. And when you're racing with the drivers side by side, you see Baskinger gets by Darian.
He gave him a little bit of a shot there in the middle of 1 and 2. Darian tried to crowd Jake on the bottom a little bit, and Jake's like, nope, you're not going to show me to the bottom, and that sent him up into the wall on exit.
Yeah, and he gave the bumper to the 22.
That's something you just have to do. You have to capitalize. When these guys are getting loose like that, that's the time you need to capitalize. We're looking at 30 laps to go right here, so now is the time to go.
Yeah, I think the time for playing nice is over. I think the 38 car, he's going to use his bumper to his advantage to try and get by the 22 car of Littell. As Littell, he hit the wall. And Littell drops to 5th as Baskinger jumps to 4th.
Baskinger in 4th place.
Wow.
Wow,
I don't know if I didn't expect to say tonight, but you know what? He's here and he's running fast.
And another sentence I wasn't sure if I was going to say tonight either. Yes, he's about ready to go a lap down, but Rusty Walrus is in the 3rd position. He's trying to do all he can to hold off Sloppy Joe so he can at least try to stay on the lead lap.
And for the people that are making the assumption like, oh, there's only 10 people or 9 people in this race, 4th place is pretty good for Baskinger for the season he's had, regardless how many drivers are in the field.
Yeah, all the heavy hitters are still in this race. The ones that are here to fight for this championship, they're here. They are here and they're racing, and he is in the thick of the battle.
Rusty, he tried a little bit of a crossover right there.
But it's not going to work out to his advantage, maybe. No, looks like it's not. Nate car now fully clears the 59 car of Walrus, and now he's going to try and maybe lap, I should say, the 82 car of Lombard.
Lombard really struggling here tonight. He's been fighting that race car the entire race, getting involved in practically every incident tonight. So hopefully he can find a way to rebound and get himself a better finish here at the end of it.
So we'll now see if we can find some other battles. But looking at this all spread out, I feel like it might be a good time to go through the field. Let's start with our race leader.
While we can, we're going to do that.
Yes, let's go through our race leader. Let's start off with you, Cody, on the 8 car.
Right now, Sloppy Joe, another perfect race for him so far. That's been Kansas, Michigan, and now Bristol. And if you want to throw in the All-Star race too, when he dominated there as well. And he's proven it doesn't matter with the addition of stages or not. He has been absolutely dominant tonight. He's had some challenges on some of the restarts, but overall he's been able to hold them off, and he currently has about a half a track lead over second place Brian Pasternak.
Yeah, 9 seconds behind is second place driver WhatiFRacing Brian Pasternak, and I mean, at least he's got a clean run so far. The only issue is that, like I said, he's 9 seconds behind the race leader. He has finished, in his last 3 races, he has finished 2nd, 3rd, and 2nd. Still has not gone to victory lane so far this season, but even though he is right now going to be the points leader, depending on how DriveThrough runs, he is right now going to be the points leader by the end of this thing. So even though he's not won, he's sitting there nicely gaining points while he can.
Third place right now, Rusty Walrus. How about that? A lot of people, beginning of this year, they were thinking that, you know, hey, if there's one guy that's going to have the breakout year, it's going to be Rusty Walrus. He did a phenomenal job improving here on NASCAR Heat 4, just in random online lobbies and even long-distance racing like tonight. And even though it's been a terrible season for him up to this point, around 10th, 11th place in points, he is coming and showing up here tonight, running in the 3rd position. Even though he is a lap down, he's doing a great job. And especially Ryan, the guy that's right behind him, 4th place Jake Bassinger.
Yeah, Jake Bassinger has been struggling the last few weeks, but him now fighting into the side of top 5. We said it earlier, yes, it is a thinner field, but these are the guys. This is the thick of the field. So he's right in the middle of it all, fighting for position. Looking at a strong, solid top 5 for Jake Bassinger.
And the driver behind him in 5th place, this is a 22 car, Brendan Littell. Pretty quiet, well, I shouldn't say quiet day. He has had a pretty rough battle with the 25 car of Darren Gilliam, but he's sitting nicely in 5th place, as I believe. Oh, whoa. There's a lot of issues going on. A lot of lag.
That's going on for me too. I think maybe just a network thing, but I think next guy who's in position right now, that may be Darian Gillum. He is in the 6th position. Darian, he has had an up and down and really far down and back up and down again and middle of the road sort of day for him so far. He has spun this car a couple times, and fortunately has gotten a little bit rough around the edges too, but running 6th place right now, and I think he's just trying to hold on to what he can at this point, and but not too far behind him is hard charging 77 car of DriveThrough.
Yeah, but unfortunately, oh sorry, go on, Ryan.
DriveThrough has been having a pretty solid day today. Unfortunate end to what could have been a much better performance, but you saw earlier that big mistake that just cost him getting spun and just going through down pit road. That's really going to be the name of it, as it looks like Darian got loose there. I don't know what happened.
Yeah, he got really loose off of the corner, but managed to keep it going.
Yeah, and then we go back to the 8th position. Who's in 8th right now? I can't tell right now.
I believe it's the 28 car, Cody Hicken.
Cody Hickens, I think this was a missed opportunity tonight for Cody Hickens. He actually made a 2nd pit stop underneath his green flag run right now. I think his tires were just absolutely trash up to that point, and you know, he showed speed. He was on the brink of breaking into the top 3 tonight, towards the end of stage 2, and then unfortunately, I think he's just faced some adjustments on his car that's causing him to fall back through the field here, and unfortunately, he's running in the 8th spot.
Right now in last place is the 82 car of Lombard. Ryan, since you're close friends with Joseph, I figured would you cover your friend there in last?
Yeah, Joseph, he's been having a rough night here tonight. Just really, it looks like at this point he's just trying to finish the race, just get to the end. Hopefully, you know, he's looking for a caution here at the end, but with how spread out the field's starting to get, it gets a little crazy around here with Rusty, but just really struggling with that car. It looks like he was kind of in the thick of it all. Just gets the short end of the stick in the battles, but so far just not his night.
And that goes through the field as we have, I believe, 6 or 5 laps to go here in Thunder Valley. It has been the Joey Stone show who has dominated this entire race. He's had a few challengers, the 22 car Littell, the 82 car Lombard, and the 1 car Pasternak, but really no one has been able to at least
around front straightaway, 82 car Lombard.
Oh, and he spins, keeps it going. No caution. No caution is not out.
I bet that made Joey pucker a little bit right there.
We talked about it, you know, Joseph was looking for that caution. I don't think he wanted to be that caution, but now here we are looking at, and now it's come to 2 to go, looking at the white flag coming up here soon.
Yeah, this time I believe this is no, this is 2 laps to go right now.
Oh, there we go. Yep.
Yeah, it's 2 laps to go right now for Joey Stone.
Joey Stone's still just maintaining a very consistent line every lap. He's running in the 16.2s just about every lap. That just shows how consistent he is. He's run the same line for the last 5 laps. I'm going to send it back to you guys for this finish.
As he took the white flag, 1 lap to go, presented by Black Lives Matter. It has been a month of complete domination. Wins Kansas, wins the All-Star race, wins Michigan. And as the cross-star finish line, Joey Stone wins the Jones Barbecue Foot Massage Night Race at Bristol for his 3rd consecutive win of the season.
He ran out of fuel coming to the line.
He ran out of fuel.
Oh my goodness.
He ran out of fuel coming to the line. He gambled and did everything he needed to do right there. That was awesome.
Wow. All right, so let's take a look now at the official results following this race. So Joey Stone wins. 2nd place is Brian Pasternak. 3rd is Rusty Walrus. 4th is Brendan Littell. Jake Baskinger falls to 5th place. Nice run for him. 6th is Davin Cornelius or DriveThrough. 7th is Black Lives Matter. And 8th is Cody Hicken. And rounding out the field is Joseph Lombard. So, wow, complete domination from Joey Stone. But regardless, what a race!
Yeah, you saw battles all over the field. I mean, it was some of the best racing I have ever seen on Heat. It's been an absolute blast to watch. So, I mean, what do you guys think?
Cody, you start off.
It was tell you what, good portion of that race, it was wanting me to hop in the Core League on-track Camaro, Workman's World Camaro, and try to contend for the win myself and just race with some of those guys. And that was a phenomenal race that we saw there. I mean, yeah, Joey Stone, he dominated the entire race, but, it wasn't, without any sort of competition. We saw Brian Pasternak up there on his bumper from time to time. Littell was up there on his bumper from time to time. Even faced a challenge from Lombard as well. So they all had great short and mid-run speed tonight, but tonight the only car that had any sort of long-run speed and consistency was the 8 car of Joey Stone.
Yeah, that's
we talk about sorry, go ahead.
No, you can go, because I was just about to end it off, but you can go. Keep on going.
Well, we talked about it. Consistency was the name of the race today. Joey was consistent throughout the entire run, making sure that he had the tires underneath him, and he did a great job of that. So now I'll let you get back to that. Sorry for cutting you off there.
Hey, that's all right. I'll be honest. I never like having 3 people in the booth because you always get, you always cut each other off and it just seems off balance. But from a broadcast perspective, this was awesome to have you, Ryan, and hopefully we can have you on for more races in the future. And yeah, I mean, 50 people are watching. I think that's the most we've had on the Core live stream this season. So thank you guys so much for tuning in. For Ryan Vargas and Cody Workman, I'm Jake Krause. Thank you guys so much for watching Core League Racing from the Bristol Motor Speedway. Congratulations to Joey Stone. He is your winner from the last great Coliseum.